Hey everybody, I am Scott Stanton, the original Tombstone tourist, and we are on a road trip to end all road trips. This is our first trip out. I'm back with Karen, my intrepid videographer. She's back in action, and we have left Boston and we visited Connecticut, where we saw the final resting place of Mary Tyler Moore and actor Jason Robards. And today we're in, of all places, New Bern, North Carolina. Now, why are we in New Bern? Well, in the late 1800s, there was a pharmacist named Caleb Bradham. And Caleb was a very successful pharmacist, and he had a lot of spare time in his hands. And he started concocting different ingredients, including extracts and stuff like that. And he invented what's known as Brad's drink. And in 1893, Brad's drink was invented, and it took off. Now, a lot of people go, well, wait, what happened in Georgia about the same time? Coca-Cola was invented in Georgia, so they were invented about the same time. Now, 5 years later, he had the great insight to rename it, and he renamed it Pepsi-Cola. And what you're looking at right behind me is the actual place where Pepsi-Cola was invented. Now, several years after Pepsi was invented, this building burned to the ground. So it's technically not the actual building, but it's an exact replica, and that's exactly how the building looked. And right to my right, there was where he kept his warehouse and produced Pepsi-Cola. And at the height of his success in 1922, he was in 24 states with over 24 franchises, and he was selling like wildfire. Now, what happened? Did he get rich? I don't know, but let's go visit his gravesite, and I'll tell you the rest of the story. Hi there, we're back here at Cedar Grove Cemetery in New Bern, North Carolina, and we're literally just a half mile from where Caleb Bradham invented Pepsi-Cola. Interestingly enough, both soft drinks were invented by pharmacists. Now, to find his final resting place, you need to come to Cedar Grove Cemetery, but you can't go through the front gate. The front gate is this beautiful, ornate, ivy all over, wicked awesome, but then you gotta walk because it won't allow a car through it. So what you do is you come all the way down Queen, and you come to the very last exit, and you come into the cemetery, and you literally drive 50 feet and stop, and you'll see this wide alley. And this is where Caleb and his family are buried. So let's go take a look at his final resting place. So there he is in 1920 at the height of his success. He's in over 24 states, and he's got manufacturing facilities across this side of the country. So what happened? He made one little mistake that cost him his entire fortune. What he did was, prior to World War I, sugar was at 3 cents. And what makes Pepsi? Sugar. And during the war, it spiked to 25 cents or 28 cents, somewhere around there. It just massively went up by 1,000% or whatever it is. And he bought it at that high, but it immediately came back down. And for him to make any money or break even, he'd have to sell his product at 20 cents a bottle. And back then they were just 6-ounce bottles, not like the 72-ounce big gulps we get today. And nobody was willing to pay that. Nobody was going to pay for Pepsi when everybody else costs, 4 or 5 cents. And he went out of business almost immediately. He declared bankruptcy. His assets for the company were sold at $30,000. And now Pepsi has 24 brands across the globe and over $1 billion in sales. Of course, it's not owned by the Bradham family, unless of course they bought stock in it. Now it's owned by venture capitalists and all those great kind of investors. So should we feel sorry for him? Absolutely not. He went back to being a pharmacist, actually a very successful one. And he had a nice big house in downtown, and he did fairly well for himself. But he made one little mistake. So here's to Brad's drink. There you go, made in the Carolinas. Bought this in the store. You got to visit it. All the tchotchkes and souvenirs you could possibly want. It's 95 degrees. That tastes good. Now, if you want more information about Caleb, his family, and all the different great stuff that's happened to Pepsi over the years, come to my website, thetombstonetourist.com, and we got pictures and videos and all that great stuff. Hope to see you there. I'm Scott Stanton, the original Tombstone Tourist. Thank you for joining me in New Bern, North Carolina.